everybody. So I got another question for you. I'd like to do this more often, but it's a little bit challenging to, I don't know, juggle everything at the moment. We got a lot of fun stuff going on, but I really want to do this Ask the Pastor style stuff. So I got a question. Came in the email, but it came from a local person, but nonetheless, email, viewer. It says this: Hi, Pastor. I have a question for you. How does buying a raffle ticket and hoping to win something differ from buying a lottery ticket and hoping to win something? Also, how does it differ from casting lots? I am in absolutely no hurry. Forgive me for being a pest. It's not pesty to ask good theological questions. The biggest challenge with this one is I'm not sure how much the Bible has to say about this matter. The long and short of it is that it is not a sin to gamble. That doesn't mean it's a good idea. That doesn't mean it's wise. That doesn't mean that it's the best way to help your neighbor or your neighborhood or yourself or others, right? But technically, you can buy a lottery ticket and that's okay. Jesus might say, like, that's not the best idea, but he's not going to say, you sinful, unclean person. Now, getting into the idea of motivation here is a little bit different. Pinning your hopes on wealth, pinning your hopes on mammon, on being rich and that fixing all the problems that you have in life, that is a misguided, effectively, idolatry. To believe that you can, in this life, create a perfect situation. Bring yourself to a place where you are Lord of all that you see and everything works out just the way you want. That is trusting in mammon, whether it's a matter of money or family or health or what have you. With that said, science has been pretty clear. Invoking science. Science has been pretty clear. The numbers are clear that when a community involves itself in high-stakes gambling, when the government particularly comes into an area, well, it's not the government. When the casinos come into an area, the fact that the government's doing it makes it worse. When a casino comes into an area, it is generally only going to make the poor poorer and the rich richer, because the rich know not to spend more than they can at this place if they go at all, and it's the poor who go and they put all of their monies into it. So it ends up devoluting, increasing the poverty level of an area. It's never very good for the immediate area because it's set up for you to lose. You just got to know this in general. The house always wins. If you want to gamble, be the one running the game. I mean, that's the way to do it if you're going to do it. But should churches do that? So you got the question about the raffle. Well, see, now we're moving from, like, I'm putting hope in mammon to we're doing a fundraiser. Now, there's a question: should the church fundraise or should the church just give? That's a huge question right there. But okay, we're doing a fundraiser and hopefully I'm going to win, an iPad or something. It's hard to have a lot of hope in that. You normally aren't going to go to a raffle event thinking you're going to pay your bills and make life perfect as a result of whatever you won, somebody's little basket of wine or what have you. So less of a problem so far as, like, your conscience shouldn't be bound by this. If you win a raffle, that's great. Yeah, with that being said, then casting lots. Casting lots is a totally different thing. I don't know a ton about it, honestly. I know that because it's not like dice, the way that we would cast dice today, at least not the way that it talks about when Aaron and the priests would do it with the Urim and the Thummim, and when the apostles do it to have Matthias become the replacement for Judas's office. It's not like they pulled out two six-sided dice and just, rolled bones, right? However, when the soldiers are casting lots, rolling dice for Jesus' cloak, rolling dice for Jesus sounds like a really bad mission outreach. When the soldiers were rolling dice for Jesus' cloak, I mean, again, it wouldn't have been two six-sided dice, but it was a way of letting chance make the decision. Okay, so that's kind of the big idea here, is that casting lots is letting chance make the decision, and then there's sort of a way in which, since there is no such thing as chance because God's in control, you're letting God make the decision. Now, again, the apostles did that at one point, after they'd got it down to two people, right? They had done the work of figuring out these two could work. We don't know which one's a better fit, so here we go. Draw straws for the matter, right? There's nothing wrong nor anything particularly right with this. This is not a biblical mandate. It's not something that we have to do to make our decisions. But at the same time, at the end of the day, if you can't make a decision, sure, if they're both good decisions, then why not, right? Why not? So chance, a game of chance. Now, this is different than, say, just actually playing bones for fun, right? Or domino, or cards, poker, what have you. All of these things are fine if they're left in their place. If they become something that you are going to put your hope into, if they become something that you think you're going to actually get good life out of, as opposed to just being a game, a leisure thing, That's where the motivation issue comes in, and it becomes a little bit more of a challenge. So I think we got through all of that there. Raffle tickets. Now, I wanted to say, though, about that. Should the church be in the fundraising business? No. No, we really shouldn't. The fact that we have to raise funds is twofold. It shows that we're unwilling to give, which is a condemnation of us at the end of the day. And then there's the other side of it with, you never make as much as you could if you just gave, right? So most fundraisers that you do, people are losing money in the process. Whereas if we just all gave that money, we'd have more, because there's always a middleman. So for example, if you have a big event where you're going to raffle off a bunch of items, you need people to buy those items and donate them, right? So they spend all this money, they buy the items and they donate them. And then you have other people come in and they donate money to the items. And unless those donations are far more than the value of the actual item, in which case you're just giving the money anyway, you're not going to even break even on the matter. You could just give the original donation cost in the first place and you break even. And if you're going to give more anyway, why are you giving away the money by buying the item? So there's a third party making the item you have to give money to. And if you just took the entire amount that you're all working on together in the first place, well, then you'd have a greater offering, right? And it would take a little less work in my mind. Now, if it's something you enjoy, if there's an event and it's a big social thing, like that's one thing. Okay, cool. But to be in this business where we think we're actually helping the church by raising funds, by buying and selling rather than by giving, the biblical mandate is giving, right? Giving, offering. It doesn't mean that a congregation couldn't be involved in finance. You could be, or investments or things like that. It's just like, it shouldn't be our main thing. And it certainly is not ever going to be enough to keep, say, a congregation afloat. Bake sales, they ain't going to cut it. They ain't going to cut it. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Gambling, not the best idea. Not really good for you. Addictive, a little bit dangerous. But then again, if you want to play poker with your kids, that's okay too. And that's about what we got. Yeah, go buy a raffle ticket or go hang out with the Catholics and play some, what is it they play on Friday nights? That's a racket, by the way. They're making money. Oh my goodness, they're making money. Oh no, that's a whole different thing. We love the Catholics sometimes. All right, we'll catch you later.